Hi guys, welcome back to our talking about all things Big Brother. And today I'll be talking about this week, like I told you guys, will be Big Brother Season 20. This one, I will be talking about the cast of Big Brother 21, not 20. I'll be talking about the cast of Big Brother 21. So let's get started. Starting off with, well, so I'll be pulling this up while I do. Hold up a minute. Let me pull this up quick. Hold up, it will take for a few minutes. And by the way, Big Brother 21 is one of my least favorite seasons, actually. I'm not a big fan of it. But, you know, let me move this over. There we go. Okay. So Big Brother Season 21 began on, I think it was June or something, 2019. And you probably seen this season because it is one of the least favorite seasons that I just don't care about. But here is the cast of Big Brother 21, and I'm gonna tell you, did I like them or did I not like them? Beginning with David. So David, of course, he wept the game on the first night. So Big Brother 21 surprises with a twist. The first person, it was a camp theme actually, so you have to pick a camp, I think that's what it's called. And basically what this was, this person has to pick the first four to be out of the house and they have to compete in a competition. The person who comes back will come back. Down, and they will keep on going and going. The last one will be evicted. But here's the only thing with the houses, they're not there. The first 5 evicted houses will be in the house. I think it was 5. Whatever. The first 5 evicted houses will be staying in that house but in the Camp BB costume. They cannot play anything. They are eliminated from the game. They cannot play power veto, head of household, or they also cannot vote. Also, when it is time for the head of household competition and the power veto competition, I think, they have to stay in the have not win. At the time it was the Camp BB win. That's what it's called. So the person who they decided to pick was Jackson Mitty. Okay. Jackson Mitty, he banished, that's what it's called, banished, David, Kriv, Jessica, and David, Kriv, Jessica, I forgot, David, Kriv, Jessica, and I forgot the last one actually. I want to say it was Kimmy? No. I know it was David, Jessica, and Kriv. I forgot the last one actually. I know there was another one, whatever. But the person, Kriv, Jessica, and the other person came back. David was eliminated. Now, this was at the time when the houses did not know they would be staying the day until the life an eviction. Oh, I think it was Ovi actually. I think it was Ovi who also got banished. No, not Ovi, Kimmy. So, Jackson Mitty has to pick the first. So, before I get into all that, David was my least favorite person in the house. He came back and Andre was not my favorite. Now he also returned back in the All-Star season, which that was the next season. Which I think production, everybody want to say, okay, what's this playing bad? He never did the play, so let's see what he can do. All-Stars, that means you are the best player for me. David is not the best player. But what I have seen on him, he was on season 21, he was the most boring hostess when he was in the house. On 22, he spilled the beans to Devon and Bailey about Cody and Tyler, and he took the money when he was on the board and thinking he was going to stay in the house. That was the week of Triple Eviction. I would love them to bring back Triple Eviction to see that craziness. I think they only did it because it was an all-star season. Of course, they actually spilled the beans before Jewish and Moonbase came into hell of the houses because the model began to whatever. But David, he also repeated on the Challenge USA. But David is one of my least favorite players, and honestly, I don't want him to come back on my TV. Well, I don't want him to come back. I think one of the challenge I probably just start done seeing him for a while, maybe later on, but not right now. But moving on to Holly. Holly was like, Holly was a good player. I wish she was the one who came back. David, no. But Holly, I really liked her, but the problem was with Jackson Mickey. So it was, I want to say the week when Nick was on the evicted, which I'll talk about him in a little bit, and Jackson won head of household. No, it was the next week when Jessica was on the block. Jackson won head of household, and basically Jackson banished him away from Holly. Holly was trying to talk to him, and basically Holly just walked out because she didn't want to do anything. She was crying, and he was being rude. He was. Yeah, I'm sorry, but they both up actually. I don't even know if they watched that one outside Big Brother House. I think for a couple of months, and then they both up. Anyway, but Holly was trying to talk to him, and basically Jackson didn't want to hear her basically, and was just being rude. And you're being mean to, at the time, your girlfriend in the house. You think that's good? No, and everybody's watching this at the time. And that's why I just don't really like Jackson. I would love Holly to come back and play Big Brother again. But please do not bring Jackson back. Which I will talk about him in a little bit. I don't even know why I'm saying it, because we haven't talked about him. We haven't talked to him. But Holly, I would love her to come back and play her own game. Please bring Holly back soon. I would love for Holly and Haley to come back. I think that would be good. Those are my two favorite. Mostly Haley is my favorite actress from Big Brother 20. But we're on to Tommy. Tommy, in my opinion, is probably by far one of my least favorite players who ever played Big Brother. He had this I feel like season 21 was like this whole fate thing where these houses, I feel like Big Brother is this nowadays. But I can see nowadays on Big Brother, you just want to be here to become famous, to this mystery to become famous. Like you, I don't know if you've seen the show or not, you just want to be in the house to become famous, basically. Tommy was one of them people. That's what I see. Now, I don't know if he was really there for that, but Tommy was one of those people where I can see you just want to become famous. with some whole feet and legs and stuff like that, dance moves. No, I don't want to see that. Big Brother is a competition. I don't want to see all that. This pretty dumb game. God, I don't want to see all that. You have to play Big Brother. If you're not here to play Big Brother, why are you here? The people who does this catch need to work up better people. Need to be better. But Tommy is one of those people who I saw. I don't know. This is what he came here for, but it's one of those people who I saw you just want to be here to become famous. Whatever. Me on to Nicole Anthony. Nicole Anthony, she was one of my favorites actually. She was. I actually really liked her. I feel bad for her when Grateful I don't like that name no more. Grateful basically was talking about. So this is what happened. On a week, Christy was in the dark room, the bowling alley room, and she said, well, the people were bullying me, and they turned around and said, well, she said, you guys are bullying her, and stuff like that, and it was like, oh my gosh, and basically, Jackson, Holly, basically everybody besides Nicole, David, Catherine, Kimmy, Jessica, Cliff, I think that was it, was being mean to her. I don't know if Sam was I don't know if Sam was up there, whatever. But basically saying a lot of stuff about Nicole Anthony. And it just made me so mad. When I was watching that, it was like, you're the one who turned it around. Annalise and, what is her name? Christy. Like, oh my god. I'm happy that she came back for All Stars. No, I'm not happy about is Memphis talked about in week 2 because, well, Memphis said, if you're not going to use your past, and I'm just going to put you on the block. She didn't. And she said, in the dialogue, she said, well, nobody told me what to do. I want that from my dad. I think she said that. But something about nobody won't tell me what to do. But she was one of the best players. And I really loved when she came back. Like, I was so happy when she came back because she didn't have to deal with everybody from season 21. Let's move on to Catherine. Catherine was one of my favorites, also one of my favorite players who played Big Brother. I actually liked her game. Now, she was one of those players who I loved to come back, play again, who I loved to just come back and see what she would do different. She was the second tribe member to leave and go to the Troy house. Now, I would love for her to come back and play Big Brother again. Let's move on to Kimmy. Kimmy had the rough time in the house out of everybody. Outside from Jackson, Ned, Chad, Annalise, everybody besides David, Nicole, Catherine, Kimmy, Cliff, Ovi, and Jessica. Everybody besides them, basically, Kimmy had the worst time in that house on that season. About mostly the one with Chat and Isabella saying, well, with that fight with, not with a fight, but with an argument with Isabella and Isabel and Kimmy was talking. I forgot what the fight was, actually, the argument was. But basically, Isabel, put her hands on Kimmy. And Sam got to go in there and bite the, so, yeah, I didn't like that. Chat was saying, well, you can't put your water bottle in the refrigerator because, well, it will break the bottle, it will take up a lot of space. Really, dude, really, you can't. I'm sorry, if I was her, I would say no. I'm gonna put my water bottle. I want to put my water bottle. If I want to put it in the dumb refrigerator, I'm gonna put it in the dumb refrigerator. Like, that made me so mad. It really did. It really did make me so mad. But I wish they brought back Kimmy, not David. Kimmy deserves to come back and play Big Brother, but without everybody, without Grateful and all that. Gosh. Whatever. Up next is Griff. Griff was one of my favorites, actually. I really liked him. I think he played an okay game. And I don't know if I want him to come back, but I did like him on season 21. Did I like him better on Catherine? Not really. But he was one of my favorites, actually. I think he played a good game. And I love him to come back again. So yeah, I really love him to come back and play Big Brother again. I don't know if we'll ever see that, but I love to come back and play Big Brother again. Let's move on to Ovi. Ovi, when it comes to Ovi, there's just also no one who I think who wanted to just be on Big Brother to just become famous. But Ovi, in my opinion, was probably he was one of the ones who got evicted early. Who he did have a power, and I don't like this. Do not tell people about your power, what you have. Just don't. Because when you told Jackson and Jack, they went and told everybody who they were working with. So basically, you basically told everybody top of the house, actually. And basically, you should not say anything, and just keep that power to yourself. Ovi is just like one of those players who I don't know if I ever want to see to come back. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't really know. Up next we got Chad. The most boring person, the most rude person, and the person who I do not ever want to see come back and play Big Brother. He was not one of my favorites. I don't care about him, and I don't want him to ever come back to play Big Brother. Then let's move on to Nick. Nick is one of those players who I don't really know if I want to come back. So I don't really know if I ever want him to come back. But he was not a bad player. But he was just one. Now, would I like him to come back over Chat? Yes. Would I like him to come back over Jackson? Yes. I think one of those players, he was an okay player, but not one of those players who I don't know if I ever want him to come back. But I would love to come back over Chat and Jackson, but I don't know if we'll ever see him come back. But he was an okay player. We're on to Christy. Christy, oh my gosh, she just cried. She didn't want to go on the board. She cried when she was on the board. She made me mad, and all what she did was cry. Oh my gosh, how many times is this person gonna cry? Now, the thing about this is, I think Big Brother messed up because Christy and Tommy knew each other outside of the Big Brother house. Christy dated Tommy's family members and they broke up, and that's basically how they knew each other. I was not a fan of them two. Basically, the show mostly focused on them two. No, we don't need that. I'm not a fan of Christy. I don't want to come back. She should have left on Taco Tuesday. But whatever. That next we got Jessica. Oh my gosh, I would love to come back. I would love to come back and play Big Brother again. She was one of my favorites. And I would love her to come back and see what she would do differently. She was a good player. Kind of. But she was one of my favorite players, so I love to come back. I really love Nicole, love Jessica, love Kraft, and Catherine. I would love for them to come back and play Big Brother. But Jessica is one of those players, so I love to come back and play Big Brother. Let's move on to Jackson. Now, I talked about him. No, don't ever bring him back at all. I don't even know if we'll ever see Jackson come back and play Big Brother. Jackson, Mickey. I was just never a fan of him. He was the most mean person in the house. Beat me to Holly. Beat me to Tommy. Well, into the final 5, which I'll talk about that on Friday. Beat me to Griff, which if you saw my Friday video about the divide matches, play that when I got done with the cast. But basically he was just most boring and mean player to ever play Big Brother. I don't want to come back and play the game. I don't even know if he'll ever come back and play the game. He was just like one of those players who I would just never like to come back. If he will want to come back, I don't know. Let's move on to Sam. Before I go on to Sam, I feel like Jackson just wanted to be there for the fame. By the way, he did win that money. I think this is the first time at the time a Joe match went to the final 2, actually. I don't know if there had never been a Big Brother with those 2 couples. I don't know if there ever been, actually, so, but, you know, he got the money, so that's all I care about. But I don't know if I ever want to come back and play Big Brother. Move on to Sam. Sam, I feel like Sam was like one of those players who was loud. He talked super loud in the dial room. He screamed. He yelled. Even in that speech he did. And oh, I'm Sam. He just yelled like, dude, you do me a headache. When I saw him, he's like, we don't need that. We know. We don't need yelling in the dial room. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. He was the loudest person in Big Brother. I don't know why he yelled. I don't know why he did all that. But, whatever. Why everyone come back? I don't know. Let's move on to Annalise. Annalise, I actually didn't realize she was in that house, actually. Big Brother didn't really focus on her. So, I didn't really knew she was still in that house, actually. So, I actually forgot she was in that house, in Big Brother house in season 21. I don't know if I wanted to come back because she was like one of the players who didn't focus on, and one of those players who I forgot was even in that house. She worked on Taco Tuesday week. But I don't know if I ever wanted to come back and play Big Brother. If she did, I think she needs to be open and being like the John Jasons and stuff like that. Not in a little room and just hide. You know. But I don't know if I ever wanted to come back and play Big Brother. But, whatever. The last person is Isabella. Isabella, of course, is the one who got in the fight, what I talked about in the few minutes ago. Was starting the fight with, Kimmy, and Sam had to fight it out. I don't ever want to come back and fight Big Brother because she was the most boring hostess. Not a good pile. Hold up a minute. Trying to look up that, but she was on this pile too. I just don't really care about. Hold up, I'm trying to look up something real quick. But she was like one of those players who I just didn't really care about that much. Hold up, I'm trying to look up something real quick. I can't find it. Well, this is one of them about Jackson. So, this is one of them who I'll tell you what about this. I'll play on this phone. And show real quick. Okay, so this is a scene from Big Brother, of course. Well, Jackson got mad at the cameras because he wanted to, hold up, I'm almost. So this is one of the scenes when Jackson just kind of got mad at Big Brother. Well, mostly to the cameras, not really Big Brother, but I had to find it then. Okay, so I'm just playing what about this. So here it is.
Please, can I get some privacy? Come on now. I'm praying. Can I get privacy?
You signed up for Big Brother to do this, and you're telling the cameras to go away. The show is Big Brother, and they're capturing you 24/7 a day. And you're doing this, you know cameras are filming you 24/7 a day. So he just makes me mad. I just want to show you guys that. Thanks for watching. I'll be as I would do tonight. Nice to meet you. Bye.